D12.
Yo, what's good, y'all? This is Young E Fresh.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know.
Hey guys, this is Emily Peachy.
Shout out, man, to Worldwide Collaborations, man.
I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now and talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
It is a worldwide collaboration song. All right, and welcome back to another Star-Studded episode of the Chatterbox with yours truly, King Jacob. I am King Jacob, your host for this evening, and we have another, man, Star-Studded episode as usual. It's about to go down. You know, we have nothing other than a young fella that's on the rise, a rock star, a superstar, an artist, a musical genius. Let's welcome young MeMe to the platform. What's up, man?
Yes, sir, man. It's a pleasure to be on, brother. I really appreciate the invitation.
Yes, sir, man. So, before we get into your story, man, you know, a lot of people would want to know, man, as you traveling on the world, been on some tours and stuff, who is young MeMe?
Young MeMe is a jack of all trades. Young MeMe loves entertainment. Young MeMe loves the people. You know what I mean? First and foremost, young MeMe just like having fun. Like if it ain't fun, I ain't really trying to do it if it ain't fun.
Okay. So, now, man, go ahead and tell them where you're from, man, and how your entertainment career started.
I was originally I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, but you know, my parents they split when I was really young. They got a divorce. So my mom side is more from Orangeburg, so I grew up mostly in Orangeburg. Then when I hit high school, that's when I moved back to Columbia, South Carolina. So I kind of claim both. Like I'm from both areas, you know what I'm saying? I'm very familiar with both areas. And entertainment shit, like just doing all of that. I did entertainment from the time I was like a young kid. You know what I mean? Always loved making people laugh. I always loved making music. I was in, you know, children's choir. I was in the band when I was in middle school. I was like first chair in the region, all of that. You know what I mean? So I always had a background of like music and entertainment. So for me actually putting it on like the record, like on wax with this music, or actually capturing it on camera was something that was suggested to me by a friend of mine when I really started about 2019. He was like, man, you're really good at this, that, and the third. You should really like put music out and you should record some of the stuff that you be saying and all of that. And that was kind of the birth of Young MeMe.
Oh, okay. So, man, but before the music, you was this world famous athlete too, right?
A little bit, man. I played some ball, some basketball. You know, played with some pretty notable guys that's like playing in the NBA now. And I played with some guys that play professionally overseas right now. You know, so yeah, I was pretty good, man.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even know you knew that. I didn't know you knew that.
Oh yeah, I know, bro. I know. I'm definitely a researcher. So this basketball career, man, and being this guy that everybody knew, you know, how did that help with the music as well?
That's what a lot of people don't realize when it comes to like my platforms, like my well, I made a new Facebook for, you know what I mean, but like my old Facebook and my Instagram and all of that, people who generally follow me, they follow me for basketball first. So it actually translated kind of easy. So I kind of had somewhat of a platform and um uh a little bit of like a cheat code in a way. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people knew me for basketball. So, you know, most people who watch sports, they like music too. So it kind of just translated over perfectly.
Okay, man. And so, upon you going to the studio recording your first single, what was that
Mhm.
experience like for you?
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. Shout out Bless the Poet. It was this one guy, Bless the Poet, that I've never been to a studio before. So, you know, I'm not knowing what I'm expecting. I'm like, yeah, man, it's gonna be like a legit studio, whoop, whoop, whoop. But it was a home studio. So like, you know, he made it look and, you know, do everything they needed to do, but it wasn't a legit studio at first, and it was kind of underwhelming at first. But when I actually heard the song, I was like, "Yo, this shit's fire!" Like I didn't think this sound would come from a home studio. I was thinking it was gonna be like a studio. I'm talking through the glass and all of that. But yeah, I didn't record into my first official studio until about a year after that.
Okay, okay. So, upon you hearing that song, man, did you put the song out, or did you just let friends hear it? Like, how did it go with the movement?
I still have that song. I never officially put it out because I like I'm always creating. So with me always creating, I like the music that I have out and I like music that I just made, but I always feel like the next day I made something better than the day before. And
So,
that's what really get me a lot of times. Like I love performing new music because I like creating music.
right, right. So, have you ever thought about sampling that song, sampling your own music? You know what I mean?
Never thought about it. I had one homie of mine, El Caro, shout out Caro. He sampled my voice on one of his beats, but it was a voice. I was throwing this crazy block party. This is like right around COVID time, which is crazy. But I threw like this block party and I made like a promotional poster. I'm like screaming, going crazy, like getting hype about the party. And he took my voice from that and sampled it. But I never thought about like having samples and stuff.
Why not sample your voice, dog? You know, that would be so dope. A track that you recorded when you first started and you used it as a sample in one of your newer
Right.
songs.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. 'Cause I was about 19 when I like really first started, you know, rapping seriously. But I used to always like, you know, freestyle on the back of the bus and like going to games and stuff like that. And people was like, "Man, you could rap," but I never really took it like, you know, super serious until about 2019. So
Okay, okay. So, what made you take it serious in 2019?
I actually had uh not career in the injury, but I could have played still, but I just didn't want to go through rehab again. So I had knee surgery. I had tore my patellar tendon. So it was really tough surgery. I had staples all in my leg and I had a brace on. I was walking on crutches for like a year and a half, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going back to school to do nothing because I didn't have motivation to go to school. The only reason I went to high school and finished was because girls and basketball, like in all honesty. You know what I'm saying? That was the only place that had both. So because this older fella told me like, you know what I'm saying? I don't care why you go to school, but just have a reason to go to school. So my reason was girls and hoop. And I always had great grades because I always wanted to be eligible to play. So um yeah, that's when I was like, you know, I told my dad, I was like, yeah, dad, I'm not going back to school. I just wanna rap now. And my dad was like, what? No, don't rap. No, like what, like you got great grades, like you graduated top 20% of your class. Like, man, I was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, never really like going to school, not gonna lie to you.
And
And
so, so what was that college experience like for you?
it was cool for the most part, but it was basically like I felt like my high school didn't really prepare me for college at all. But it wasn't hard. It was just a bunch of like I seek systems out. So like I just noticed that this shit is just like other shit I already did. So basically you just regurgitating shit people tell you. So then they deem you smart. So it was
Oh, okay.
very easy. Yeah. So like music is harder. Like I create everything that like my sound is, the words I put. No one's telling me, hey, say it like this, do that, do this. I'm actually creating that. That's coming from within myself.
Okay. Okay. And so before we get on to your story, I just want to ask you this:
Mhm.
what did you feel about the hip hop industry nowadays?
What do you mean specifically?
Um, the artists, as
Hmm.
far as compared to when I grew up in hip hop, you had early on. I was listening to like Big Daddy Kane and Carol Swain and Big and Dougie, and now and then it transitioned to like Mobb Deep, Jay Z, Nas, Goody Mob, Outkast, Luda. So what do you feel about the newer generation of hip hop? Do you feel like
The
they have something to say, or is they not as lyrical, or is it a gimmick?
I think it went through phases of all three for sure. But I think the new age of hip hop for an older audience, they don't understand where a person's coming from. That's our actual reality. But I think the newer generation artists are smarter now than the artists that you just named because most artists now they own their masters or they have a situation that's a sync situation or they have a situation that's um a distribution situation versus guys back in the day. We appreciate those guys because they made great music and they had to really lay down that groundwork. So a lot of samples and stuff like that come from, I just sampled Dougie Fresh with DJ Speedy. The Meme Party song, like we sampled Dougie Fresh. And it's a really great song, but I think we have a lot more leverage now because we know better. So we're taking advantage of that. So a lot of the people like the Dougie Freshes and the Big Daddy Kanes or the Master P's or the Jay-Z's, they're taking executive roles and CEO roles now because they had to climb that ladder. Now we're kind of coming in with, oh, you don't have to sign your whole life away for $20 or something like that crazy because we saw what happened in New Edition. We saw how stuff happened with Michael Jackson and a lot of stuff like just bad deals and bad contracts and Lil Richie situation. Like so we've experienced a lot of different things. So I think the younger generation now is a lot more conscious to the business side of it more than the music side because it doesn't matter what the music side is because if the business take care of it, it's gonna handle the music.
But what I think what the younger generation got to realize is if my name is Def Jam,
Hmm.
you have no money,
Hmm.
I have to recoup. If
Yes.
I'm putting up 100% of everything, then I have to recoup. So you got to
Hmm.
work your behind off like a Busta Rhymes. You got to work
Yes.
your behind off like a Jay Z. You got to work your behind off like a Locks. You got to
Hmm.
work hard like Outkast and Goody Mob did and Luda did, and because those deals wasn't but 80-20. Some was 90-10. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
Exactly. And that's where artists now they understand that side of it. So if people were getting the short end of the stick for all of these different generations, and I love Outkast, huge fan of Outkast, but what comes with that is why like at the end of the day a lot of people think that oh you need a record label but it goes both ways. The record label needs you too.
that's
So
true.
the fact that a lot of artists can be independent now is like the record labels I could fuck off then like because I can have my own tour and I could do XYZ. It's just like okay so fuck off then because I could just make my money. So it's like they pursue artists because oh this person makes money. Yeah, so then there's terms and negotiations off of that alone. I think Outkast and those guys didn't have that luxury. That makes it different.
Well, I also think when it comes to the money aspect, man, it
Hmm.
sometimes take an artist 20 years to get on because they don't have that engine behind them. They don't have that revenue
Yes,
behind them. And
100%.
it's like with Buster, with leaders of the new school, it was four of them, but and they was only 16, 17. But
Hmm.
they took 1.5 million, and and they split it those ways. But even though Buster is the bigger artist, but a lot all the other guys they songwrite, they produce for people and stuff like that. So
Right.
I think it just depends on, and I think even nowadays what artists fail at is they don't have an entertainment lawyer. Like because
Hmm.
a lot of artists don't know what's in that black bold print. They don't understand that lingo. And
Hmm.
so what would you say is an indie artist's biggest mistake from you being out there on the main circuit?
I think a indie artist's main mistake is they let what people say affect, like people who've never been in a situation affect how they think about a situation. Like a lot of independent artists, they say, I would never sign to a record deal because, it's a loan and all of this stuff, which is true. But with that being said, most people who preach that never was offered any type of money from a record label ever. So it's like you're speaking from a fact of like, okay, yeah, it's a loan anyway, but I mean, people go to college off of loans, people start businesses off of loans, people buy homes off of loans, people buy cars. So you're really not saying anything. Like most shit is a loan anyway. So my main thing is, as an independent artist, if it makes sense to you and you do your due diligence and you hire a team or whoever to look behind you off of things you don't understand, there's nothing wrong with asking questions. If you get that, make the best deal for you. Don't let other people decide off of some narrative they made up. Like I've heard plenty of independent. I would never sign a deal. I was like, I don't think he was ever offered a deal
Makes sense. Makes
because
sense.
most people, like 99% of people, if you put $3 million on the table, or like the leader of new school, 1.5 million today on the table, name 10 people off the top of your head, gonna walk away.
So it's interesting you say that. When Convict Music signed T Pain back in the day,
Hmm.
a single deal for $10,000.
Hmm.
One physical year, he made 5.3 million.
Hmm.
Bought his contract back out, bought his publishing back, got his masters, and the rest is history.
Yes. And
So
that's my main thing. It's cool with being independent. Like you can just be independent. If you really would rather that, there's nothing wrong with that either. Because there's plenty of independent artists like IDK. Like he's a big artist, but he's an independent artist, but he's not Drake in popularity, but he makes millions of dollars a year off of his music. But there's only like a small window for artists that's like that to really make that type of money and be independent completely from the jump, not signing to anybody ever. So that's rare. But a lot of artists make that, oh, I don't want to sign a deal. It's a loan and blah, blah, blah. But you've never been offered $10,000, $50,000. Like most people would take $50,000 off the table. Like bump millions. Most people not taking $50 million off the like most people not leaving that.
okay, okay, dope answer. I love it. I love it. So how do you explain your music to your audience? I know they hear it.
Um,
I hear it, but if you're in conversation and somebody wants you to break it down, what are you as an artist? What is your emphasis on an intellectual level that you can reach people, and how do you be intellectual and still having fun to make people want more of your music?
More than anything, it's not even about what I say all of the time. It's like a 60-40 type of thing. But it's how you feel. So one of my biggest inspirations in music in general was James Brown. When James Brown was like, um, do it sound good? Like, yeah. Do it make you feel good? Yeah. Then it's music. You get what I'm saying? It's like music is one of those things that words can't even describe it all the time because you can have great music without words. You get what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that I really attach to a person's emotional side. So my music is what I call amplification on both sides. So it's like there's every mood, but it's to the 10,000th degree. You know what I mean? So it's like having like that first Dorito out the bag. And then it's short punch. This is a small bag. So it's like you be like, damn, I want another Dorito. So you have to buy another bag if you want more Doritos.
I got it. I got it. I get it. I get it, man. Good theory,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
See, you a lot smarter than you lead on to be. Yeah. I'm gonna let you know.
I be tricking people, man. I be tricking
Yeah,
people a lot with that.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
man. I'm an AP student.
Yeah, bro. But you real reserved though. You don't say much. You just take it all in, and you learn something from everybody.
I just
And
watch people more than anything. One of my favorite things to watch is people fail. I like seeing that shit. Not because I'm like a hater or nothing, but it's like I'm like, yep, I'm not doing that. I'm not going that way.
so it's like learning. It's like the young generation learning from the older generation and what not to do.
Exactly, exactly. So that's why when you brought up the question with the younger artists, I think most of them are smart as fuck. Like most people don't realize it, but they have like solaces. Now there are some that still sign Passageway because they're ignorant to it, but there's a lot of people who's just like, man, they sign like decent deals. Like they like their first deal is better than New Edition's first deal, and not just compensation wise, just like all the way around. Like. And then there's people who sign like those slave deals, you know what I mean, where you have to go on tour for 2 years straight. There's not a question. You have to.
So we're in 2024.
Mhm.
I remember LL Cool J being the first hip hop artist to own his masters in 2000, in the year 2000.
Mhm.
We talking about 24 years ago, and so I just wonder, did Def Jam feel like they owed LL that because they didn't make him the president of Def Jam and they made Jay-Z the president of Def Jam, or was it just off the hard work and dedication on how he took them? He kept them in the limelight, strong mainstream for 20 years. What do you think about that?
Um, it could have been some like, hey man, you deserve this. But at the end of the day, I think when it comes to business, people are ruthless with it. So I think he just played his cards right. With how he went about it because it's all about leverage. If he didn't have leverage, he wouldn't have it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't think it's like a hey, you're friends, you made us a lot of money because even then he's still getting crumbs off that cookie regardless. So it's like you generate so much money. That's the least they could do. That's the least they can do, but they don't even want to give that up. You know what I mean? So I think he just played his cards right and kept his leverage high, and that's what just an artist in the industry, like mainstream industry or independent, that's what you should always have is leverage. That's the one thing that you can always like tote and throw around. Like you can always throw around your leverage because you don't have to do shit.
Right. Now, you as an artist, you make feel good music. I seen you perform. I
Mhm.
seen you dive in the crowd, and and they towing you around like your name is ZZ Top or Van Halen or somebody like that, bro. You're like,
Right.
so why are you so energetic on stage, and why are you a rapper and a rock star?
It's crazy because it really starts back when I was like in my adolescence, like middle school. So, in middle school, what I noticed was I moved around so much. So I literally one year I went to three different schools because I moved around. Every single year I went to a different school, like up until I graduated high school. So I never had the GGs, like the good looks of I know this person. So I never had that luxury. So with that being said, I always had to stand out and not in a braggadocious way. It's just I'm gonna go harder than you ever can go. So any competition in front of me, I'm gonna go harder than you ever can go. So I can suck. Like I'm not the most talented artist. I wasn't the most talented basketball player, but I'm the basketball player that dives on the floor. I play defense. I'm calling out. I'm talking on screens. I'm getting rebounds. I'm doing everything the star guy doesn't want to do because I'm not from this school. He wasn't watching me when I was in middle school, and I'm coming to this high school. So he's like, "Who's that new guy?" He plays hard. That's the one thing you could take from that. So I took that with everything I do in life. So me playing like me performing or anything like that, most rappers, they got their shades on, they drinking, they're drunk, they on the stage, they rapping, do, they're doing their thing. All respect to them. I'm not from Columbia originally in the eyes of the locals, or I'm not from Milwaukee when I was performing. I'm not from these places. So I'm gonna just show all the people that's too cool. I'm willing to like go crazy and give everything I got into this performance tonight. Everybody who leave here tonight is gonna be like, Young Meme is the best performer I've ever fucking seen. I did not know who that was until tonight, and I would never forget who that was after the night. So everything that I did, I always had that chip on my shoulder of I don't have the luxury. Oh, I'm from this place. I was doing music when I remember when he was 12, he used to go to this corner store. I always moved around. I always moved around. So I never had that luxury of the benefit of the doubt. So
Okay.
I had to make everything definitively. I got to knock everything out.
Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's dope. So, and they won't forget who you are too, because most rappers are not big as you. Most rappers don't look like they belong in the NBA. Just saying, man.
that's that's one of the main things people tell me. They be like, "Man, I didn't know you was that tall. Man, I thought you was like 5'8", 5'9". I'm like, "Nah, man."
What's you like 6'5", right?
Yeah, about 6'4" ish. You know what I mean? I'm on my brawny.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Like when I said, man, like he could have played DN. He could have played a small forward. Like I was like, or he could have been that pitcher on the mound that throw 120 miles per hour, bro. 105
That's
miles per hour.
crazy. That's my first sport ever was baseball. My pops from Jamaica, Queens, so that's all they played up there was baseball and stuff. So my first sport was baseball, and man, it comes down to them girls down here in the South. And girls like them basketball and football players. So I played football outside, never organized. It was too hot. But basketball, I was like, yeah, man, I don't got to wear a helmet. They see who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
so with that being said, man, what is your most popular song to date?
Racket by far, produced by DJ Speedy, mixed and mastered by El Caro. Yeah, Racket went crazy. I mean, crazy, bigger than I ever thought it was gonna go. Not saying I wasn't confident in it, but I just woke up one day. I was number 5 on the Latin charts on Apple Music, and over 200,000 views on YouTube, and my Spotify blew up, and people was using it on TikTok, and it just caught a algorithm or a wave, and it just went up. And it's crazy because it's like an Afro pop Latino type of vibe type of song. It was one of the first ones I ever put out, and it just went crazy like that. And DJ Speed is just a super producer, man. He knows how to create that sound, man, and he's produced for everybody from fucking Outkast to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys to them Young Jeezy and Waka Flocka and Gucci Mane, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce. Like he's produced for everybody, and that's like my bro. Like we locked in. So when he sent me, like he showed me the song, like he showed me that beat, and I was like, that's a hit song. And he said, no, this is your hit song. And it just happened.
It just went from there. Okay, that's
It
what's
just
up.
it just
So
went from there.
so now you have had a few hits, man. So what is the second song that you like the most after the hit single that you have now?
Uh man, I got so many songs.
Yeah,
it's
you got a
so
lot.
hard to pick a favorite. It's like trying to pick a favorite kid or something, you know? Uh, Let me see. Like,
Let's rephrase it. Besides Racket,
mhm.
what is the fan favorite?
Fan favorite. Okay, got you. That's more okay. Every time I perform, it's like I have to do Chip Skylark in 80s. Um, so there's two different songs. Chip Skylark, I perform that like every time, especially if I'm performing in Columbia. People love Chip Skylark in Columbia. And then I have to perform 80s, and both of those songs go crazy every single time.
Okay,
Never fails. Never
okay.
fails.
That's dope. That's dope, man. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with young superstar, young me. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
I spend a racks on you, baby. I spend a bag on you, girl. I spend a racks on you, baby. I jump a bed for you, girl. I'ma pop it one more time. I asked her what she drinking and she said it's sunrise. Tequila in my cup watching the sunrise. Tell me that you love me and look me in my eyes. Rack it up, stack it up. Girl, I really like it when you back it up. Can you back it up? Watch I pop it one time when you whacking up. Rack it up, stack it up. Girl.
Woo! Hey,
Yes,
hey.
sir.
It's a vibe. You know, it got that. It got the West Indies vibe. You know what I mean?
For sure,
But
100%.
Virgin Islands. You know, Saint Thomas. You know, places like that. You know what I mean? Great vibe. And so, as far as you have been mentored by a very successful person in the music industry,
Hmm.
talk about your mentorship in the music industry.
Yeah, man. A huge mentor for me is Waka Flocka Flame, DJ Speedy. They both mentor me on just a lot of different things when it comes from how to think about it. Because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. But we also like good music as well, and really, just how to lock in to have like bigger goals outside of music. Like, what do you want to do after this? What do you want to do 10 years from now, 20 years from now? It's really easy to get there, but how do you sustain that? And that's something that I went in with the antennas up, just absorbing up all the information like water on a sponge, and because these guys have been doing it for like literally like I remember I was in like sixth grade and I was like playing Waka Flocka Flame, and my dad was like, "Who the fuck is Waka Flocka Flame?" Like he was like, "Who is that?" um, and then DJ Speedy with Jeezy and everything, he's done a lot of stuff, and he's been with Universal and Warner and Sony, and so he's been a part of all three big pillars, and he's been one of the first people that really worked with Kanye West. And with that being said, like he's seen my story 100 times over, so he gives me information that is just like, yeah, I remember like you doing the same shit like when Kanye was doing blah blah blah, and yeah, I haven't seen this before. Like you about to do this and that, so just be ready for this and that because this shit about to happen. So like they definitely just keep my head on the swivel with everything, and from performing to because me and Waka make similar sounding and style to music. I was like, how do you perform? Because he almost broke the Guinness World Record book of performances in a year. I think he performed 330 days out of 365 or some shit like that. I was like, how with hard in the paint and all and how hard he goes, and he's like, man, I just perform it the same way that I recorded it. You don't gotta take it up a notch every single time. And like he just taught me how to pace myself too. So great conversations, great people, what I'm saying, a blessing to meet them. um yeah, like those are my guys for five ever, you know what I mean? So
And not only is he great, but his mom and his uncle both are
yes,
powerhouses. Both are powerhouses.
yes, yes, Love Miss Deb. Love Miss Deb. Um, I believe his uncle used to manage Prince at one time.
DJ
Like,
Hurricane. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So they have a whole documentary out on it now too, which is crazy because Miss Deb, very down to earth woman, very nice woman, loves her family, loves people in general, like great person.
Right. And then a lot of people don't know that Walker is connected to the Wu-Tang too.
Yes, because they're originally from New York. Um,
Right.
a lot of people don't know that either because like Atlanta was kind of like Georgia was like the start of like people knowing who that is, but they're actually I believe they're from Queens. I want to say Queens, New York. So it's like
Right.
all of that stuff over there. They come from real hip hop roots for real.
Yeah. They actually grew up with LL. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, who's your top 5 artists in the world right now? Top 5
Like
male, top 5 female, hip hop.
hip hop. Um, I love Tyler the Creator. That's who made me believe I could rap. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, if he can rap, I can rap. Like, you know what I mean? Tyler the Creator, Lil Wayne is my favorite rapper, like of all time. Tyler the Creator is one of my favorite artists. Lil Wayne is my favorite rapper of all time.
Okay.
Uh, I love XXX Tentacion. Even though he passed away, I love Juice WRLD, even though he passed away. And Waka has a lot of shit coming as well. And he's one of my favorite rappers, as well. And I guess if I took out the other two that not here anymore, I would say like Childish Gambino is one. And if I had to pick a fifth, I would say if I had to pick a fifth, I would say the baby and his run that he had for sure. Fire.
That's an interesting list.
Female. Hmm?
Different list, but
Yeah. Yeah. I listen to all types of like different styles of rap and and just different music in general. But female wise, I would say top five, gotta have Nicki up there. I love Nicki Minaj. I love Nicki Minaj. This list gonna be crazy because I actually listen to these people. All right. Bia. I like how she talk. I like the accent. I love the delivery of how she raps. I believe she's from Massachusetts. She's very dope, and I can tell she care about hip hop because when she came into the industry, the collaborations she has are like they're hip hop moves. They're not just okay, let's get this shit popping moves. It's like she collab with J. Cole, then she collab with Busta Rhymes. Like you like rapping, you collab.
I'm
Um,
surprised that she didn't collab with Massachusetts' very own, bro. I really feel like Joyner Lucas don't get enough credit, bro.
Jordan Lucas is dope. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people don't like Jordan Lucas. I like him because he can actually rap. Like he's a rapper. Like he's not an entertainer like that. He don't do all the back and forth. He raps and he gets his shit going. You know what I mean? So Jordan Lucas, I put him and like Russ in the same
Yeah.
sphere. Like they're great fucking rappers. Um, but you made my list five, so my list had to be like I had to make some cuts. You know what I mean? But
Right.
Bia, I like Sexy Red. I like her as a person. I think I don't. I'm not saying the music's the best in the world, but it's authentic.
Ugh.
I like that about her. I like uh I like Coyle Ray's music.
Uh-huh.
She's dope. She makes like jingles and bops, and I like those, like because you need those in hip hop. Like everything doesn't have to be super serious and all that. A fourth female. I like BK the Ruler is dope, and just because she from Carolina, she doing her thing as well, and I think she's pretty dope. Tia Kareem is dope. Um,
I'm so surprised you didn't say the other Carolina girl, even though she's from North Carolina.
who?
Rhapsody, bro.
Oh, yeah.
She crazy, man.
Yeah,
Like, she crazy with it, bro.
yeah,
Like I'm talking about really real bars, bro. Like
yeah.
just crazy with it, man.
Like
I,
Sexy Red is the only one on there that is just like it's not because of the bars. It's like how authentic she is to who she is. It's not even about her message or anything. It's like I can always appreciate a person for being them and not hiding who they are to fit a certain pocket. You know what I mean? Like she's the same, and everybody be like, bro, she's so whack. All the top artists want to work with her. All of them want to work with her. So it's
yeah,
like she's hot. Like you can't deny like she just hot. Like T Pain, we bought T Pain up earlier. I remember at one point, my older brother, he's a huge, the biggest T Pain fan I know. T Pain was on everybody's shit at one point.
yeah,
So like everybody kind of have that little moment where everybody like she's just hot right now. Like you
right.
can't deny it, and you could tell it's not some like she acting to be the like nah. She's just a country girl from St. Louis, and her personality fucking blew her up. And the music isn't the greatest music, but it's like man, it get caught in your head. You be like, no, I can't believe I'm really singing this right now.
Yeah, yeah. She don't have a taste for music, but it's a
Yeah,
wave. It's a wave for every type of music. So it's a market for everything. You know what I mean?
like the Shake Your Dread song that she got was crazy, and she actually got a remix of that with Waka. Fire, fire, fire. So like I'm saying, everybody's working. Chief Keef's fucking working with her. I think she did stuff with Nelly, Soldier Boy. Like she's going to like, and all of those people now. I put them in that OG category, even though they're not old, but they're that OG category. Like Soldier Boy can fucking sign 10 artists today if he wanted to, like But she's really working that industry, and she's squeezing that orange. Now, how long that orange gonna be an orange, I don't know, but as of right now, today, that's my list. I got her on there.
Yeah, yeah. She hot. She hot. She well. She ain't tasteful to me, but when it comes to knowing what people can do in different markets, she is definitely gonna be in different markets. For real, for real.
Right, right. Because I think people like her. Like I can see her being an actress. I can see her doing a lot of different things. I can see her sponsoring different things that can work in a certain pocket. So if she came up with like if she did what Flavor Flav did and has some reality show, it would fucking do crazy numbers. Like if a bunch of guys were competing for the love of Sexy Red in 2 3 years, I could see that show making millions of dollars. Like it wouldn't shock me because she's funny. Like she's a personality for real.
Right, 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 right. So we recently had a rap beef, Drake and Kendrick.
Hmm.
Before I say this, people look at me and they say, "Yeah." I always say that Drake is always going to be the bigger artist.
Hmm.
I mean, Drake is a musical person, not just a hip hop artist. He studied all different crafts and genres of music. So that makes him bigger in my eyes. Now, did he win the battle? Well, I mean, man. It depends on what you like. That's what I'm saying. But
Uh,
what's your take on the Drake and Kendrick beef?
it did everything that was needed for hip hop. A lot of people said hip hop was dying. It is dying still, whatever. That's the narrative, at least. It ignited the flame where everybody was talking about it. And it really showed and put in perspective that rap has evolved to a point where it's not one thing. So there's different takes and angles you can take. Is Drake the bigger artist because he sings as well? He's an international artist. He's not from America. Like all of that works in his favor. Kendrick Lamar is a rapper, and he
Yeah.
showcased like Drake puts out so much music. Like he dropped like 3 or 4 albums in the past 2 years, and it's because situations of business, right? So like you have to, do certain things. Kendrick Lamar, he vanishes and he actually works on his craft seriously. So in the beef, you can tell every single line he was saying was like, this dude mastered rap. Like he's very good at rapping for real. Drake isn't on that like Drake's a great rapper, but there's levels to it. It's like Kendrick is like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan level rap. Drake can go
Kendrick
Super Saiyan.
Kendrick is Nas on the West Coast.
Yes. So Drake would be Jay-Z in the situation, and Kendrick is Nas. Everyone knows that Jay-Z's is better at the business side of it than what Nas was doing at the time. But Nas, bar for bar, pound for pound at rap is better than Jay-Z at rapping.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you can tell like just the difference. Like Kendrick Lamar mastered one thing, and Drake is a jack of all trades. But people never say the second half of that is if you're a jack of all trades, you master none. You're just good at a lot of things. Kendrick Lamar is an assassin with rapping. Like
I
he's a
think,
barsmith.
like you said, Drake is Jay-Z because Drake is a businessman. Like when
Yes.
I was reading, he owned half of Gamma, and he got Rick
Yes.
Ross signed up under him, French Montana, Usher. I was like, they signed up under Drake. I was like, bro,
And we were
this
just
is
talking about the female that I had on my list. Who you think Sexy Red signed to?
a Drake, of course,
She signed to Gamma.
right,
So her with Drake on all them songs.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect
So
business. Makes perfect sense.
it does, man. So that's what's up, though. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with the final question. And that final question would be: Is what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? We'll be right back, though.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
Shout out to the men.
Man, that was powerful.
I'm trying to tell you, shout out to the men, man. I don't think men get enough love, enough shout out, man. So shout out to all the brothers that's doing what they're supposed to do, being great, productive citizens of society, raising their kids,
Yeah, for real.
treating their woman with honor, love, and respect, and just being a force in this world and trying to impact and inspire others, man. Shout out to the men, man. For sure, man.
And it's men mental health awareness month, right?
Yeah.
100%, man. It's something that don't get talked about as much, but the society that we live in is a double standard society, unfortunately. But it's something that's very real, man. With especially that mental state, and especially with the person, taking that actual action and you know ending themselves is more likely with men as
Yeah.
well too.
Yeah.
So that's something that definitely deserves some love. I really appreciate that commercial break. That was real.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I'm glad you chimed in after the commercial break. Now, the last question of the evening:
Yes, sir.
Where do young Meme see himself at in the next 5 years, or what is your 5-year plan?
Um, Young meme in 5 years, I want to live remotely by myself with my family and live off the farmland. I'm telling y'all now, get your farmland ready. You know what I mean? It's the three little pigs story, that big bad wolf coming everybody lifetime. If it's COVID, when we literally saw the world shut down, if it's the Great Depression, whatever. What matters is what you built your house with, because the wolf coming regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Did you build your house with hay sticks or did you build it with bricks? At the end of the day, so if you build it with bricks, you got your family there, all of that's the foundation of those bricks, and you have all those things in place, you can withstand that big bad wolf. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but it's a very solid foundation, and I would rather be the little pig at the end of the day that took the longest to build that house. But when that big bad wolf came, his brothers ran to his house.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's dope. That's dope, man. So live with Young Meme this evening, man. What a great, sensational interview, man. A great dialogue. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. So, man, go ahead and give your shout outs and tell people where they can search for your music at and any events that you may have coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, shout out to everybody who ever supported me. Like that list is a Bible verse. I'm telling you. Man, shout out Brit Squad, Monopoly. Shout out, Radical. Shout out my mom. Shout out my dad. Shout out everybody, man. God, everybody. Um, Music, you can find me on anything on Young Meme on all streaming platforms. All of my social media handles are at real REAL Young Meme YUNGMEME for literally anything, Twitch, anything. I'm on everything. So yeah, man, it's been a pleasure.
You heard it first, man. The Chatterbox live with Young Meme, man. Peace and blessings to you, man. This show is sponsored by Exquisite PR Firm, powered by
Man, on
the
top of that, like not even to cut you off, man. Shout out to you, man, for even bringing me on, bro. Like, uh, it was an amazing interview. I enjoyed myself. We've had, multiple, many, great conversations. So this was like not a big ask from you or anything like that. This is like, man, this is another day, dog. We just recorded it this time. You know what I mean?
right.
This is just our regular conversation. You know what I mean? So, yeah, big shout out to you. I should have led with that, man. My apologies on that. Big shout out to King Jacob for even having me here.
I
First
appreciate
and foremost, you know what I mean? So,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love and respect. Thank you so much, man. But yes, this show is powered by Village Global Network, sponsored by Exquisite PR Firm, streaming in 191 countries. You know, broadcasting on Zeno FM with additional online monitoring by online radio box. And so tap in, download the app, the Village Global Network app, the VGN app, available where you on every Play Store, Android, Apple. So thank you for tuning in once again. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings, man. And I see you on top.
yes, sir. Peace, bro.
Peace.